Arabango,
Igbo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, great Biafrans. This is Star News TV Biafra 1. If you've not joined this great family, just click on the subscribe button and subscribe. It costs nothing to subscribe. You could also comment and share so that YouTube's algorithm would, share the video to so many other Biafrans and lovers of freedom. And today we'll be talking about Nnamdi Kanu, the betrayers around him, and the need for us to fight these betrayers and sweep them out, such that once these betrayers have been swept out of the movement, then we can have a smooth sail. And the implication of this is that once these betrayers have been swept out of the movement, you have a smooth sail. But if you still have them there, you are not going to make any meaningful progress. I could remember someone was telling me one time like that, and it was like the Fulani terrorists came to attack them in Benue State, and these people, each time they come, they are successful in their attacks. They kill so many Benue citizens and all that. And when they began to dig deep into the reason why these people come to attack them and are so successful and know their in and out, know their secrets and all that, they discovered that the person that was leading these Fulani people is actually a Benue citizen, a member of their community. This person tells them the secret of the community, tells them when to come in and when to leave, and in turn receives some monetary, stipends being given to him by these Fulani terrorists. So he collects money to betray his own people and to sell their secret to the Fulani guys, and that's how the Fulani people have been conquering them in Benue State. And when they discovered that, they had to eliminate the guy, and once immediately they eliminated the guy, they began to mount a very serious pressure and offensive against the Fulani people. So this is exactly what is happening in the Biafran struggle. If you do not weed off these evil people, if you do not weed up these saboteurs, you would be fighting a battle in futility, because once you try to make a move a step ahead, these people are pulling you 2 steps backwards. Because whatever you do, they try to leak it to your enemy. Whatever step you want to make, they try to sabotage you. And as such, your enemy is 2 steps ahead of you. So when you are making a move in the right direction, these people are countering it. And that is why I support Simon Ekpa in the fight to, push off and weed off all these evil people in the movement. This is why we must put our hands together to fight off these people. And once we're able to weed off at least 80 to 90% of these saboteurs, then we could start to see a meaningful progress, such that whatever we are doing remains within us and it doesn't go out. And that's why I keep advocating for Simon Ekpa to have secrecy, to have secrets, to have his own I would tell you that I 100% suggest Simon Ekpa to have his own people, his own men that are loyal to him, because some of these guys that claim to be ESN are actually double-faced. You can't hold them and say you have somebody. So I totally, advocate for Simon Ekpa to look for guys who see him as a leader, who trust and believe in him 100%, and who are loyal 100% to him. And when he has these guys, I believe that is when he'll begin to see meaningful change. And look out for people who truly desire freedom, who truly understands what freedom is. Now, before we go forward, I want you to watch this video. It's an old video, but it will give you an insight to what I'm talking about. It will give you an insight to what is happening in IPOB, and it will give you an insight to why you could see the great fights that Simon Ekpa is fighting today. Just listen to this man. I believe it's an old video, but this video is wonderful. This video is top notch. Listen to the video, and then I'll analyze one other video before I end this. I don't want this to take a long time, but just listen to the video.
Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, has a lot of fake people around him. You see that his capture, the guy was betrayed. What happened to his security? Let's talk like people where get brain, where be intellectuals. What happened to the man's security? What happened to his security? What happened to the guys that are supposed to tip him off if anything like this is supposed to happen to him? What happened to them? Where were they? Where were the security, the guys who were supposed to tip off Nnamdi Kanu and say, tell him, look, the Secret Service is after you? Or look, all those things he had some kind of a Secret Service, he had an Eastern security team, he had this, he had that. Where were all of them? That they should capture him like they capture just anybody. There are some people in this world that in trying to capture them, a lot of people will die in the process. There are some people in this world that in trying to capture them, the damage will be so great even to that place, that hotel room or wherever, that place would come down. How could it be that the person who is trying to lead a major ethnic group, in fact southern Nigeria to freedom, was just captured like a normal human being, like anyhow person? How could that have happened? And I'm going to tell you now that the only way those kind of things happen is when there's betrayal. Believe you me, that guy has been betrayed in a massive way. The betrayal is massive. And I know that a lot of you will say, oh, this guy don't begin to talk, they run his mouth. No, it's not about running his mouth. You guys think now. You think it's like the victory of the Nigerian Secret Service to just capture the guy. Nigerian Secret Service just capture the guy. No. The guy has been betrayed. Big time. And you know what? A lot of people around Nnamdi Kanu are fake. Even now that has been betrayed, have you seen the silence? Nobody's. How many people have really come forward in an attempt to create a ruckus that could lead to at least the foreign powers and a lot of other groups noticing his capture? People are quiet. People are quiet because a lot of people around him have. In fact, people are so quiet that nobody has even attempted to make a video like I'm making here in North America. I am from Akwa Ibom State though. When I was making videos on behalf of IPOB and all that stuff, I was the only person making videos in North America. Of the millions of Igbo people here, nobody would come forward to make a video because he doesn't want his face to be seen. The person that is in charge of media in charge of media for IPOB, it resides in Houston, Texas. Do you know the person's name? Have you seen any publication by the person? I mean, in charge of media. You know what? To me, if you're in charge of media, you should be the one that should arrange for Nnamdi Kanu to talk to BBC. You should be the one that arranged for him to talk to CNN. You should make so much noise. Media should be the guys that make so much noise that the whole world gets tired of hearing the case. Media should be the ones that will make sure that IPOB is advertised on Times International, is advertised in Newsweek, is advertised in Black Entertainment magazine. Media has a lot of work to do, especially when you're trying to create a country. But this media was very, very quiet. Why? Because a lot of people, mark my video, this is one of the hardest videos I ever made. A lot of people around Nnamdi Kanu are fake. Me, they talked to, they said he's not Igbo. He's not Igbo. They did everything to make sure that guy doesn't work with me. Even at some point, people came and deceived me and said that the Supreme Commander has ordered you to stop making videos. I picked up the phone and called the Supreme Commander's brother and other people around him, and they said that that kind of statement was not made and has never been made before. Someone went and told and said the Supreme Commander has told you to stop making. Someone in Dallas, Texas, lied to me and said that to me. I didn't know what to say. When I stopped, the person who told me this was of a higher rank. So when they told me to stop making videos, I stopped making videos for so many months. I just sat down there. Then one day, someone called me from Dubai and said to me, why are you not making videos about Biafra anymore? And I told the person, because I was ordered to by the Supreme Commander. They said, na lie. They now called the Supreme Commander and said, did so and so, did you tell so and so to order Clayton to stop making videos? Supreme Commander said no. That's when I knew what IPOB is about. A lot of people in IPOB now, they are looking for position inside IPOB. But when it comes to moments like this, you will never see anything like a video from them. You will never see anything to show that they know that there is a problem. You won't see anything. They want position. They want to be in charge of IPOB Houston, in charge of IPOB in Chicago. They want to be in charge of IPOB, just like Nigeria. They want to be in charge of IPOB in Atlanta or in London. Or they want to be treasurer. They're the ones collecting all this money. All this money. They're collecting money and issuing receipts. Here in Houston, there were more than 5 people collecting money, claiming they're treasurer at the same time. There is a lot of things going on. But the problem is the betrayal of that. Do you know that the way I see that guy, he's fighting by himself? Oh. The people around him, forget it. I'm waiting for IPOB to issue an official statement on this issue. They're quiet. I know a lot of you, because a lot of you have been brainwashed and programmed. You say, oh, you don't talk anyhow. You don't give your statements anyhow so that they may not know. I've heard a lot of that. And that comes from bad advice. Real bad advice. I've heard a lot of the brainwashing. Oh, you don't say this, you don't say that, you keep quiet, you stay like that, you do this. Inside that silence, who is making a move? Nobody. I've really spent a lot of time in IPOB, and I've studied IPOB, and what I've seen, I am so sorry for Nnamdi Kanu. He's alone. That guy is fighting alone. That guy is by himself. He has been betrayed.
Now, from what this our brother said, you could, pick out things, pick out silent informations, like how these guys roll, how these guys, operate. You could see that they blackmail people and present people as evil to Nnamdi Kanu. You see how they change the narratives around people who are genuinely fighting for this freedom. They begin to tag you evil, tag you certain names, just to paint you black and get you off the movement so that they remain in power. Somebody telling this guy not to make videos again, that Nnamdi Kanu has asked him not to make videos again. Possibly they have seen that this guy is making waves with his videos and making a very big impact, and they felt like, okay, if we allow this guy to continue, Nnamdi Kanu is going to see the good job this guy is doing and maybe elevate him to our own position and demote us. And that is why they will fight tooth and nail to ensure that they bring anybody who looks or who would appear like a threat to them. They will bring you down. Now, listen to this video I'm about to play. You would understand the evil in these people. The same people who have been fighting Nnamdi Kanu before, these are the same people who are fighting Simon Ekpa today with propaganda, all form of lies and everything. Now, if you watch the trend, you will realize that whenever Simon Ekpa wants to expose these people, he comes with their voice. He comes with people you can, relatable people you can really know that, yes, these people are in this struggle. These people are holding so and so position in this struggle. You will realize that he gets the voice notes of people who are actually doing those things. But if you see these people, they are coming with a third party. They are coming with a third party voice. They'll come and say, this person is saying this. And the funny enough is that these people have never called Simon Ekpa to say Simon Ekpa is the one doing all this evil. They are the ones that would, when they discover this, they will come and nail it on Simon. They will say it is Simon's voice, it is Simon that is doing all these things. Whereas the people who are giving that information are never saying Simon Ekpa. They will always say this is what happened and this is what happened. But these people will now come and tell them, okay, we know the people who are doing this, it is Simon's boy. How do you know it is Simon that is doing this? It's just because you are envious of him, because you don't want his progress, because you have seen that he's now the light of this struggle. You now want to quench that light so that he will not be the one to bring, because this guy has said before that if it is going to be Simon Ekpa that was going to bring Biafra, that they would destroy everything. And I pity people who are still listening to these idiots, people who are still listening to these riffraffs, people who are still listening to these never-do-wells, the people who are still listening to these people who have no direction in life. You stay and somebody is telling you he's doing underground work for 2 years. You have seen no tangible something. By now, we are supposed to be seeing a very strong resistance from the people of Biafra against the evil and, on the evil kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu. We are supposed to be seeing a very strong uproar against this injustice method of Nnamdi Kanu. But everywhere is just quiet because these people have bastardized everything. These people have spoiled everything. And they have left, ruins of everything. Now Simon Ekpa is trying to pick things together and put things together so that he will be fully ready before he launches, an offensive against these people. But you see them still, still castigating him, still trying to pull him down, still trying to call him evil, still trying to, these people are evil, and that is why we need to weed off these, saboteurs. We need to weed them off to allow Simon Ekpa to walk. So some people will say, okay, no run you each of these people, so that Simon Ekpa win space and win, freedom to walk and cool head to really think and articulate things and get us, a walking roadmap to Biafra. Now listen to this.
Okay. Mommy ngozi akamuni ya na-ekwu. Okay. Kamuni ya kwuo.
Okay. Let's be.
Hello. Good afternoon. Kekime.
Adi mama otanshi be samo.
I'm so sorry. I'm very, very sorry about it because these people named Eva is not our mens. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want the Simon on the recruit. Yeah, boys say Simon. They are trying to kill our men. Everything out. Many complain and they want the killings in our low zone. Our Simon Nakos here. You have the responsible of that. Our ESM guy Kaganyani.
Okay, sir.
And the thing name Ivana. I did against it. I would have a you can't name. I would I bet you a woman nine. So I talk to me no.
Now you see how they blackmail Simon. Now what happened here is that this particular woman's husband and his brother had an issue with their land and all that. So the other brother had to go and call some guys and they killed the woman's husband. And these people got the information and they target Simon's boys. A brother and a brother, this is just family quarrel, family issues. This happens everywhere in every community where they're having land issues. It happens everywhere. So these people telling me that If this issue happens in Benue State, happens in Plateau State, happens in Lagos, they will call Simon Ekpa, because this thing is happening everywhere. This is communal something. This is family issues, that a brother and a brother are having issues with land and all that, and the other brother, maybe being so violent, went out and get some boys and say, come and kill my brother because he's fighting this land with me and I want this land. And they killed the man. And these people came in and, started saying it was Simon's boys. That you can see the propaganda and the kind of information these people are pushing out to the media to confuse our people. Let's keep watching.
First of all,
first day the guy here. One year upon near Waraya, Cora the guy in so Ojiko Meka Kitehukin the family. And when he Okitre here, Umuna Rala Branga, Kenya Rala, and when you had Kirena the compound that Remeka no copana, Muchahini. I've been a boss quarter, Ulo Maha, Ukai, Ulo Maha. So, kitchen ma ogamo danada. Yana rushi the kitchen. Okula, Obrula, Hona, Rokwa, Ukwa, Lidria to death, Okwala, Ukwa, also has Oka, Wendy. When you know, Mary.
Okay, this issue now, you have what's one and one. And the pro so now I claim that they are ESN. Why be a buru your diggy? We boy. Apa not so we have
Also, I want also.
Okay. That 1 year working out. I put Nnamdi. Okay. MSF will number marketer. Actually, I want to get a faggy. Because I actually a distant name in Biafra land. Mazin Nnamdi Mbogo Putra ESN. You also have Hachapabu never. Abani more Fletchabande Fulani. You don't understand. If Oba Hachabande Fulani, first of all, before raise the ESN, oppose of one day Eastern governors. A security gate Chapabu near. That been was a killing of Fulani. Ogwa has several times before
Kagali doesn't mean we're killings of our brothers, our farmers. Or if this our brother is trying to tell the woman that the main reason why ESM was formed was to protect our bush, was to safeguard our farmers, was to protect our crops, was to make sure that no farmer will be raped in his or her own district farm. That was the main reason why. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu formed ESN after the Eastern governors fell to hearken to the advice of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because he told them to protect our land and they refused to. So in his own little way, in his own small way, he formed Eastern Security Network to protect our bush. Not to come and kill anybody. Not even to kill Fulanis, because what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu asks us to add the Eastern Security Network to do is to chase away the Fulanis from our bush. I hope you are following. My name is the special one, because now I will not continue with this voice note. I'm the special one. Hey, again, I have two food, no one. Mom, the special one, but I will continue. Mom, even if one on
Oh my God. Actually, when I listen to these people, I just laugh. Look at the so-called media warriors of the US. Look at someone who is presenting himself as a freedom fighter. Earrings, nose ring, as in what? Nose ring, earring. Just look at. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. I'm not. let's just call it a wrap here. But the major thing is that we do not need these people around. People with this mentality, people with this, we do not need them around this Biafra struggle. They are setting us backwards, and if we continue to allow these people, then we are not making any headway. So whoever is representing them in autopilot IPOB must be flushed out. And we thank Master Simon Ekpa for his work so far, for flushing out all these evil people, and the remaining ones, we are hoping that through the help of Chukwu Kabiama, they will all be flushed out so that we can make meaningful progress. We thank God for what Simon Ekpa has been doing. Simon Ekpa has organized this struggle. You cannot get the struggle by saying cause. Simon Ekpa has organized this struggle. At least you have a Biafra government in exile, and when you are discussing with other government of other countries, you are presenting yourself as a government in exile of a particular people, and that would show more respect. That would be more acceptable to the international community. It is all about packaging this struggle to look very, very okay and presentable, and that is what Simon Ekpa has been able to achieve, and that is why he is converting the name from Biafra, from the Eastern Security Network, to Biafra Liberation Army, such that when he's speaking to the international community, he will say that we have an army known as the Biafra Liberation Army, an army dedicated for the liberation of Biafra people. And when you present it, immediately anybody looks at it, such person would understand where this person is going to, and will give you more credence, give you more listening ears, and take you seriously. Not all these people, they are saying they are doing underground work. 2 years, you are still where you are. You have not made any difference. You have not made any impact. And another thing is the wife of Nnamdi Kanu. What is that woman doing? What is she doing? Tomorrow she will come out now and say, you need to be using your frontal lobe. You need to talking rubbish. You can't come out and fight and present yourself to the international community and seek for the release of your husband. All you do is sit at one place. You come out once in a blue moon, and you make caricature of people who are actually fighting for your husband to be released. These are the kind of people we have. These are the kind of saboteurs. A woman that has not seen her husband, a woman that her husband is kidnapped in this manner, cannot come out and shout and cry to the international community for her husband to be released. The only thing she does anytime she comes out is to challenge and belittle the people who are actually fighting for her husband. This is preposterous. It is preposterous, it is outrageous, it's unacceptable by sound minds. She has gone back into oblivion. Very soon she will come out again. After 1 year, or she comes out after every 90 Ekpa days to speak. And when you come out, you speak nonsense and go back in, and disgrace yourself and go back in. Other people, when their husbands are in such situation, they come out and they speak and they cry and they move from countries to countries, from international communities to they speak and they present the case of their husbands, and with time, in no distant time, their husbands will be released. But this one, keep mute, keep quiet, and anytime she comes out is to challenge the people who are actually fighting for her. It is unbelievable. Sometimes when I reason it, I be like, wow. But in all, we thank God, and we thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We thank God for Mazi Simon Ekpa. We thank God for all the people who are making things happen today. And we pray for God's blessing. We pray for Chukwu Kabiama to continue to bless and uplift them. Grant them wisdom, grant them that understanding, grant them that direction that they need to really actualize this Biafra. Thank you for listening.